If you watch basketball, you don't even have to be a basketball fan to know that the most common method or way of shooting a basket is the overhand push shot, right? We teach our kids, you take your dominant hand, you put it behind the ball, you take your other hand to the side of the ball, up, flick the wrist, swishes in, beautiful. Unless you're LeBron James and somebody pushes you with their pinky finger and then you fall, it's really bad, you get a foul out of it. All right. Did you know, though, that is not the only way to shoot a basketball? That there is another style and method of shooting a basketball. Anybody else? Anybody know what it is? It's the what? It's the granny shot. That's right. Now, let's talk about that for a minute. There are two ways to shoot a basketball. You will almost never see anyone shoot granny style unless they just absolutely cannot do the common push style. But did you know that there was a research project several years ago in which they took a bunch of kids who were not necessarily strong athletes, and they divided them into two groups and taught them basketball. Group number one, they taught the common overhead throw, and group number two, they taught the granny throw. Guess what? After a couple of weeks of training and practice, which group had a higher percentage of free throws? You guys are so smart. You can see where this is going. Those who shot granny style had a higher percentage of free throws. They also discovered that not only did they have a higher percentage, but they improved their percentage and increased their percentages faster. Did you also know that then when they went and talked to a physics expert who analyzed it from the perspective of physics, he suggested that the style of shooting the ball from lower and the arc and the angle and all the other factors that go into the physics of it suggest that the granny style increases the odds of a free throw going into the basket. Did you also know that Wilt Chamberlain, in his record-setting 100-point game in 1962, although he was typically not a very good free throw shooter, in that game he shot his free throws granny style, making 28 out of 32. So obviously with that kind of success, he kept it up afterwards, right? No. Why not? So we have the physics expert who says that's the preferable way. We have the research study, and we have a hero in the game showing that it actually works. And yet, almost nobody uses the obvious, better way of shooting. Why not? It's dorky. It's just not cool. I think we owe a big apology to grannies everywhere. Interestingly enough, one more case in which you should have listened to your grandma's wisdom. That not only is grandma wise in almost every area of life, but even her basketball skills are superior. Why don't we do it? Because of pride. And here's what we know about truth. Truth is true regardless of whether you believe it or not. But truth doesn't really make a difference in your life until you believe it. You can believe that granny style shooting is a preferable and better method of shooting and that it will raise your free throw percentage. But that will not make a difference in your life just because you believe it until you take the ball and actually humble yourself to shoot with the different way of shooting. Truth is true regardless of whether you believe it, but the truth will not benefit you until you believe it, receive it, and then it makes a difference in your life.